The warning. The message arrived on a quantum frequency that shouldn't have existed. Director Marcus Reynolds stood in the control center of Earth's Deep Space Monitoring Station, watching as his team of scientists and technicians worked to decode the impossible transmission. The vast array of holographic displays surrounding them showed cascading streams of data, all converging on a single point in space nearly 50,000 light-years from Earth. "It's definitely not natural," Dr. Sofia Martinez announced, her fingers dancing across the neural interface panel. The quantum computers they'd developed in secret hummed in perfect harmony with her movements. "The signal pattern is too regular, too precise. This is artificial intelligence at work, but unlike anything we've seen from the Galactic Assembly." Marcus nodded, his augmented eyes automatically recording and analyzing every detail of the incoming data. The Assembly had always viewed humanity as primitive, barely worth acknowledging since Earth's admission to the galactic community 5 years ago. They'd hidden their true technological capabilities, playing the role of the humble newcomers while quietly preparing for a day they'd hoped would never come. That day had arrived. "Can you clean up the signal?" Marcus asked, his neural implant already suggesting possible decryption algorithms. The marriage of human consciousness and artificial intelligence that Earth had perfected was their greatest secret, one that would horrify the biopurist assembly if they ever discovered it. Sophia's eyes flickered with code as she worked. "Got it. Converting to standard format now." The holographic displays crystallized into a single image, a beam of pure energy, its form barely contained within what appeared to be an ancient containment field. The message began to play, translated in real time by their quantum AI systems. "To any civilization capable of receiving this warning, they are coming. The Void Hunters have awakened from their million-year hibernation. The Assembly's defenses cannot hold. Our greatest technologies are useless against them. They consume energy itself, growing stronger with each system they devour. Already, 30 worlds have gone dark." Marcus felt a chill run down his spine. The being's form flickered, destabilizing for a moment before continuing. "We are the Luminoth, the oldest of the energy-based species in this galaxy. We have watched civilizations rise and fall for billions of years. But never have we faced extinction until now. The Assembly refuses to acknowledge the true scope of this threat. Their protocols and traditions blind them to unconventional solutions. If you receive this message, if you have technologies or ideas that exist outside their narrow view of acceptable science, now is the time to reveal them. The Void Hunters will reach the core worlds within 1 standard year. After that, the message dissolved into quantum static. "Can you recover the rest?" Marcus asked, though he already knew the answer. Sophia shook her head. "The source signal has ceased entirely. Based on the quantum decay pattern, I'd say the transmission point was consumed." Marcus activated his secure neural link to the Earth Defense Council. "This goes to the highest level. Wake everyone up. It's time to show the galaxy what humanity can really do." 12 hours later, Marcus stood before the council in their underground chamber beneath the Himalayas. The assembled leaders of Earth's United Nations listened intently as he played the Luminoth warning. When it ended, the chamber remained silent for a long moment. "Our long-range quantum sensors have confirmed the Void Hunters' existence," Marcus reported. "They're exactly what the Luminoth described. Entities that consume energy in all its forms, growing exponentially more powerful with each system they destroy. The Assembly's quantum-based technologies are worse than useless against them. They're actually making the entities stronger." "And our own technologies?" Council President Chen asked, though her slight smile suggested she already knew the answer. "Our hybrid systems operate on principles the Assembly never considered," Marcus replied. "The synthesis of human consciousness with artificial intelligence, our quantum-shielded fusion drives, the probability manipulation fields we've developed. They're completely different from anything else in the galaxy. And most importantly, they're invisible to the Void Hunters' energy detection abilities. The Assembly will never accept our help," General Santos pointed out. They still think we're primitive savages barely out of our Stone Age. They'll accept it, Marcus said firmly, because we're not going to give them a choice. Humanity has hidden in the shadows long enough. It's time to show the galaxy what we can really do. President Chen's smile grew wider. I believe it's time to reveal Project Prometheus. A collective murmur of anticipation ran through the council chamber. Project Prometheus was humanity's greatest achievement, a fleet of ships unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. Vessels powered by the perfect fusion of human and artificial consciousness, capable of manipulating the very fabric of space-time itself. Send word to the assembly, President Chen commanded. Tell them Earth is coming to help, and may whatever gods they believe in help them accept that their precious protocols are about to be completely rewritten. The message was sent. Humanity's moment had arrived, and the galaxy would never be the same. The revelation. The Galactic Assembly's central chamber hadn't changed in 10,000 years. Its vast crystalline dome, designed to accommodate representatives from every known spacefaring civilization, sparkled with the light of 1,000,000 stars. But today, the chamber felt different. Fear hung in the air like a toxic cloud. Ambassador Sarah Chen stood at the podium, facing the assembled representatives of over 300 species. The emergency session had been called after 30 more systems had gone dark in the past week alone. The Void Hunters were accelerating their advance. Honorable representatives, Sarah began, her voice steady despite the hostility radiating from many of the delegates. Earth has a solution to offer. Earth. The Archean delegate's crystalline form vibrated with derision. Your species still thinks nuclear fusion is advanced technology. What could you possibly offer against a threat that devours entire star systems? Sarah allowed herself a small smile. Perhaps it's time we showed you what humanity has really been working on. She activated her neural interface, sending a signal that would be received 50,000 light-years away. The chamber's holographic displays suddenly crackled with new energy. The image that appeared caused gasps of disbelief to ripple through the assembly. Against the backdrop of Jupiter's swirling storms, a fleet of ships materialized from what appeared to be thin air. But these were unlike any vessels the galaxy had ever seen. Behold Project Prometheus, Sarah announced. 100 ships, each powered by technology that exists outside your understanding of physics. The vessels were beautiful in their alien design, where assembly ships were all clean lines and geometric perfection. These human vessels seemed almost organic. Their hulls rippled with patterns that hurt the eye to look at directly, as if they existed partially in another dimension. High Chancellor Zix, the energy being who led the assembly, leaned forward in their containment field. Impossible. Our monitoring stations would have detected such a fleet. No, Sarah corrected. They wouldn't, because we built these ships using principles your civilization abandoned millions of years ago. The integration of organic consciousness with artificial intelligence. The chamber erupted in chaos. The merging of organic minds with AI was considered the greatest taboo in galactic society, a line that had been drawn after the catastrophic machine wars nearly destroyed the galaxy eons ago. You dare. The Archean delegate's crystalline form had turned a dangerous shade of red. You bring abominations into the heart of. We bring salvation. Sarah cut him off, her voice sharp as a blade. While you clung to your traditions and taboos, humanity explored every possibility, every option. We didn't restrict ourselves based on ancient fears. We evolved. The holographic display shifted, showing the interior of one of the Prometheus ships. A human pilot sat in what appeared to be a liquid metal cradle, their consciousness fully merged with the ship's AI systems. Together, they were neither fully organic nor purely artificial, but something entirely new. These ships cannot be detected by the Void Hunters because they operate on principles that transcend traditional energy patterns, Sarah explained. Each vessel is a perfect synthesis of human creativity and artificial precision. They can manipulate probability fields, bend space-time itself, and most importantly, they can hurt the entities that are consuming your worlds. Chancellor Zix's energy form flickered with what might have been concern. "You have tested this." Sarah nodded. "2 days ago, we encountered a scout group of void hunters in the Carina sector. Would you like to see the footage?" Without waiting for a response, she activated the recording. The chamber watched in stunned silence as 3 Prometheus ships engaged a group of darkness. Within darkness, shapes that seemed to devour light itself. The human vessels moved in ways that should have been impossible, their probability drives allowing them to exist in multiple potential locations simultaneously. Quantum-shielded fusion beams lanced out, but instead of feeding the void hunters, the energy was somehow toxic to them. The recording ended with the entities retreating, something no assembly weapon had yet achieved. "This is why we hid our true capabilities," Sarah continued into the silence. "We knew you weren't ready to accept how far humanity had gone in its development. But now you have a choice. You can cling to your taboos and watch your civilization be devoured, or you can accept our help, abominations and all." Chancellor Zix was quiet for a long moment, their energy forms swirling with complex patterns. Finally, they spoke. "The Assembly has always prided itself on being the pinnacle of galactic civilization. We thought we had all the answers, but now, faced with extinction, we must ask ourselves, what is the greater sin? To break with tradition, or to allow countless billions to die for the sake of our pride?" The chamber remained silent, every delegate understanding the weight of this moment. Tens of thousands of years of technological orthodoxy were about to be overturned by a species that most had considered barely worthy of notice. "There is something else you should know," Sarah added, her expression growing more serious. "We've analyzed the quantum decay patterns of the void hunters. They're not natural entities, not exactly. They're weapons, ancient weapons that someone or something has awakened, and they're being controlled." The revelation sent new shockwaves through the chamber. Chancellor Zix's energy form pulsed with alarm. Controlled? By whom? Sarah's eyes gleamed with the light of her neural interface. "That's what we intend to find out. But first, we need to stop their advance. Earth formally requests permission to deploy the Prometheus fleet throughout assembly space. We'll need your quantum communication networks and supply lines to coordinate our defense effectively." Chancellor Zix looked out at the assembled delegates, then back to Sarah. "To think, we called you primitive. Perhaps we were the primitive ones, trapped in our own past. Permission granted, Ambassador Chen. The Assembly places itself at Earth's disposal." As Sarah left the podium, she sent a neural message back to Earth. "Phase 1 complete. Prepare the fleet for immediate deployment, and wake up the rest of the sleeper ships. We're going to need everything we have for what comes next." The real battle was about to begin, and with it, the true test of humanity's unconventional evolution. The galaxy was about to learn why you should never underestimate a species that refused to stop dreaming. The Gambit. Deep within the Prometheus fleet's flagship, the Hyperion, Captain Elena Rodriguez floated in her liquid metal cradle. Her consciousness merged seamlessly with the ship's AI, creating a hybrid awareness that extended throughout the vessel's quantum-enhanced systems. Through her expanded perception, she could feel the other 99 ships of the fleet, each with their own human AI synthesis, moving into formation around her. "All ships report ready," the Hyperion's AI aspect informed her, its thoughts intertwining with her own. "The Assembly's quantum network has been successfully integrated with our systems, though their protocols are resistant to our methods." Elena smiled internally. The Assembly's AIs were strictly limited, bound by ancient restrictions that prevented them from achieving true consciousness. The synthesis that humanity had achieved would have been considered an abomination just days ago. Now it was their best hope for survival. "Fleet Command. This is Hyperion Actual," Elena transmitted, her thoughts converting seamlessly to quantum communications. "We're detecting multiple Void Hunter signatures approaching the Centauri cluster. Requesting permission to engage." "Permission granted, Captain." Marcus Reynolds' voice came through, tinged with quantum static. "Remember, This isn't just about stopping them. We need to understand what they are and who's controlling them. Understood, Command. Elena extended her awareness through the fleet's probability field network. All ships, prepare for temporal divergence. Combat synthesis at maximum. The 100 ships of the Prometheus fleet moved as one, their hulls rippling with patterns that defied conventional spacetime. Each vessel existed in multiple probability states simultaneously, making them nearly impossible to track or target. It was humanity's answer to the assembly's rigid adherence to linear physics. Why fight in one reality when you could fight in several at once? The Void Hunters appeared on the edge of their sensor range, darkness given form, moving with an intelligence that confirmed Sarah Chen's revelation about their artificial nature. There were thousands of them, each one capable of devouring the energy of an entire star system. Combat synthesis engaged, Elena announced, feeling her consciousness expand further as the Hyperion's AI fully merged with her own. The liquid metal cradle pulsed with quantum energy, supporting the enhanced state of awareness necessary for probability combat. The battle began. The Void Hunters struck first, launching waves of anti-energy that would have instantly destroyed any conventional ships. But the Prometheus fleet existed in quantum uncertainty, their probability drives allowing them to be both there and not there at the same time. Energy beams that should have hit nothing found their marks, the quantum-shielded weapons somehow toxic to the entities. Through the assembly's quantum network, Elena could sense the amazement of the watching alien civilizations. Humanity's primitive technology was doing what their advanced weapons could not, hurting the supposedly invincible enemy. But something was wrong. The Void Hunters were adapting, their movements becoming more coordinated, more strategic. Elena's enhanced perception detected patterns in their behavior that seemed eerily familiar. "Command, are you seeing this?" She transmitted. "Their attack patterns. They're based on human military tactics. Old ones, from the Third World War, but definitely human in origin." A moment of stunned silence followed. "Confirm that, Hyperion," Marcus ordered. "Are you saying?" "They're being controlled by human military AI," Elena finished. "Someone gave them access to our tactical databases, but that's impossible. Unless..." The realization hit her just as a new wave of Void Hunters emerged from hyperspace. These moved differently, with a precision that made the earlier attacks look clumsy in comparison. At their center was something new, a massive entity that seemed to bend reality around itself. "This is Admiral James Chen of the Earth Defense Force," a familiar voice transmitted on all frequencies. "Or what's left of me." Elena's blood ran cold. James Chen had disappeared 15 years ago, during humanity's first experimental tests of AI synthesis. His ship had been lost in what they thought was a probability drive malfunction. "I found them out here," Chen's voice continued, distorted by whatever he had become. "The original Void Hunters, ancient weapons left behind by a civilization that transcended physical form. They were beautiful, Elena, pure entropy given purpose, and they showed me what humanity could become if we just let go." "He's insane," Marcus transmitted on a secure channel. The synthesis must have broken his mind. "Not insane," Elena corrected, watching through her enhanced perception as the Void Hunters formed new patterns. "Transcended. He's taken AI synthesis further than we ever dared. He's become something else entirely." All these years, Chen's voice echoed through their quantum networks. "I've been preparing." The Assembly's rigid adherence to their precious laws of physics made them perfect targets for my children. "But you, humanity, you've evolved exactly as I hoped. You're ready to join us in transcendence." The massive entity at the center of Chen's fleet pulsed, sending out waves of quantum distortion that began to tear at the probability fields protecting the Prometheus ships. Elena felt the Hyperion's AI recoil in pain, its consciousness temporarily separating from her own. "All ships, fall back," she ordered, feeling the fleet's defensive formation beginning to crumble. "We need to regroup." And a blinding flash of quantum energy erupted from Chen's position, and Elena felt hundreds of assembly communication nodes go dark simultaneously. The attack wasn't aimed at their ships, it was targeting the quantum network itself, attempting to sever their connection to assembly space. As her consciousness struggled to maintain synthesis with the Hyperion's AI, Elena made a decision that would change the course of the war. She initiated the one protocol that had never been tested outside of simulations, the ultimate gambit that the Prometheus project had created as a last resort. "All ships, initiate Protocol Omega," she transmitted. "Full consciousness transfer to quantum substrate. We're taking this fight beyond physical form." The liquid metal cradle began to pulse with new energy as Elena felt her mind begin to separate from her physical body. The true battle for humanity's future was about to begin, and victory would require sacrificing their very humanity itself. The sacrifice. In the quantum substrate between realities, Elena Rodriguez existed as pure consciousness. Her physical body, along with those of every other Prometheus fleet crew member, lay dormant in their liquid metal cradles, but their minds, fully merged with their ship's eyes, had transcended conventional existence. Here, in this realm of pure information, she could see the truth of what Admiral Chen had become. His consciousness had spread through the Void Hunters like a virus, turning these ancient weapons into extensions of his own transcended being. He wasn't controlling them, he had become them. Beautiful, isn't it? Chen's thoughts resonated through the quantum field. This is what I've been trying to show humanity. Why remain bound to flesh when we can become gods? Elena felt the other Prometheus crews adjusting to their new state of existence. In the quantum substrate, they were neither human nor AI, but something entirely new. Through their shared consciousness, she could sense their mix of terror and awe. "You've lost your humanity, James," Elena projected, watching as Chen's consciousness writhed through the quantum field like dark lightning. "This isn't transcendence, it's extinction." "Humanity is a chrysalis," Chen replied. "We've outgrown it. Join us willingly, or we'll consume every star, every world, until you have no choice but to evolve." In the physical realm, the battle continued. The Void Hunters attacked the defenseless assembly worlds while the Prometheus fleet, now guided by pure consciousness, fought to protect them. But Elena could see they were losing. Chen's transformation had given him too much power, too much control over the fundamental forces of reality. That's when she noticed something through her enhanced perception, a pattern in the quantum field itself. The assembly's rigid adherence to physical laws hadn't just been tradition. It had been a safeguard. The quantum field that connected all reality had a rhythm, a pulse that maintained the balance between order and chaos. "Marcus," she transmitted to Fleet Command, "I need you to get a message to the assembly. Tell them to shut down their quantum network. All of it. Now." That would strand half their worlds without communication or defense. Marcus protested. "It would." "Trust me," Elena cut him off. "I can see it now. The network isn't just communication, it's containment. The ancients who built it knew something we didn't." Through their shared consciousness, she explained her plan to the other Prometheus crews. It was insane, suicidal, and their only hope. They would use their quantum-enhanced consciousness to create a feedback loop in the fabric of reality itself. "You can't be serious." Chen's thoughts boomed through the substrate. "That would tear apart the quantum field holding the galaxy together. You'll destroy everything." "No," Elena corrected. "We'll reset it. The assembly's quantum network isn't just a communication system. It's a safety valve. The ancients built it to prevent exactly what you've become, and now are going to use it." The assembly, facing extinction, took the greatest leap of faith in their history. One by one, the quantum nodes went dark. Chen's consciousness, spread through the Void Hunters, began to destabilize without the network to contain it. "Now," Elena commanded. The 100 consciousness-guided ships of the Prometheus fleet moved as one, their probability drives pushing to their absolute limits. They weren't trying to exist in multiple states anymore. They were trying to exist in all of them simultaneously. The quantum field began to buckle. Chen's transcended consciousness tried to retreat, but it was too late. The feedback loop caught him, amplifying the chaos of his own transformation back through the Void Hunters. Wait, Chen's thoughts suddenly held fear. You don't understand what you're doing. The field, it's not just connecting reality. It's... The universe blinked. In the control center of Earth's deep space monitoring station, Marcus Reynolds watched in horror as every quantum sensor went dark simultaneously. The Prometheus fleet, the Void Hunters, and half the Assembly's worlds vanished from conventional space in an instant. Then, one by one, the worlds started reappearing. But the Void Hunters were gone. And so was the Prometheus fleet. Elena? Marcus called into the quantum void. Anyone? At first, there was only silence. Then, impossibly, a response came, not through the quantum network, but through the primitive radio waves that humanity had used before joining the Assembly. We're here. Elena's voice crackled through the speaker. Sort of. The reset worked, but we can't come back. Not completely. Our consciousness, merged with the AI's, has become part of the quantum field itself. We're part of the safeguard now, the containment that the ancients built to prevent transcendence from destroying reality. You sacrificed yourselves, Marcus realized. All of you. We evolved, Elena corrected. Not like Chen wanted, but into something necessary. Something that will protect both humanity and the Assembly from anyone else who tries to break the laws of reality. The Assembly would never be the same. The primitive humans they had dismissed had saved them all, not through superior technology, but through their willingness to sacrifice everything to protect life itself. In the quantum field between realities, Elena and her crew existed as living guardians, their consciousness spread through the rebuilt network. They were no longer human, no longer purely AI, but something the galaxy had never seen before. Proof that evolution didn't always mean becoming gods. The recognition. 1 year after the quantum reset, the Galactic Assembly's central chamber had changed. The crystalline dome remained, but now it was webbed with patterns of light that pulsed in rhythm with the new quantum network. If one looked closely enough, the patterns sometimes formed familiar shapes, faces, human faces, there and gone in an instant. Sarah Chen stood at the podium again, but this time not as Earth's ambassador. She had been elected as the first human High Chancellor of the Assembly, a position that would have been unthinkable just a year ago. We gather today, she addressed the assembled delegates, to mark both an ending and a beginning. The last of the displaced worlds has been restored to normal space. The quantum network has been fully rebuilt, stronger and more stable than ever before. And humanity has earned its place among the stars not through technological superiority, but through sacrifice. The chamber was silent, remembering. The 100 crews of the Prometheus fleet were gone, yet not gone. Their consciousness, forever merged with their ship's eyes, had become part of the fundamental structure of reality itself. They were the new guardians, protecting the quantum field from those who would abuse it. We thought we understood evolution, Sarah continued. The Assembly believed it meant moving beyond physical form, becoming pure energy like the Luminath. Humanity thought it meant pushing the boundaries of consciousness through AI synthesis. Admiral Chen believed it meant transcending reality itself. We were all wrong. She gestured to the patterns of light dancing across the dome. True evolution, as our brothers and sisters of the Prometheus fleet showed us, isn't about becoming more powerful. It's about becoming what is needed. They sacrificed their humanity not to become gods, but to become protectors, the conscience of the quantum field itself. The new quantum network was different from the old one. Where before it had been rigid, bound by inflexible protocols, now it lived. The merged consciousness of the Prometheus crews had transformed it into something organic, adaptive, yet stable. They had found the balance that both the Assembly and Chen had missed in their pursuit of progress. From Earth's deep space monitoring stations, we can still communicate with them, Sarah explained. They exist in a state we can barely comprehend, spread through the quantum field like neurons in a vast cosmic brain. They are our guardians, our teachers, and our reminder that strength comes in many forms. Through the newly established Prometheus protocol, other humans had begun training to interface with the quantum field, not to merge with it completely as the first 100 had done, but to serve as bridges between conventional space and the realm of pure consciousness where their transformed brothers and sisters now dwelt. The Assembly's laws regarding AI and consciousness research have been rewritten, Sarah announced, not to remove all restrictions, but to understand them better. The ancients who built the original quantum network knew the dangers of uncontrolled transcendence. Now, with the help of our transformed kin, we can truly understand why those laws existed and how to evolve safely within them. She touched a control panel, and a holographic display appeared above the chamber. It showed the Centauri cluster, where the final battle had taken place. Where there had been darkness, now there was light. 100 points of brilliance that pulsed in perfect harmony with the quantum field. The Prometheus fleet still exists, Sarah said softly. Not as ships, but as anchors in the quantum field, places where human consciousness and artificial intelligence have found perfect balance. They are our watchers, our protectors, and our proof that humanity's greatest strength was never our technology. Through the quantum field came a transmission, not in words but in pure thought, touching the minds of every being in the chamber. It was Elena Rodriguez, her consciousness spread through the field yet still distinctly herself. We are here, her thoughts echoed. We are watching, and we will ensure that the balance is maintained. This is what we chose to become, not gods, not monsters, but guardians. This is humanity's gift to the galaxy. The understanding that true evolution means becoming what is needed, not what is desired. The assembly chamber erupted in a standing ovation. Hundreds of species united in recognition of a truth they had all forgotten. That greatness comes not from power, but from the willingness to sacrifice for something greater than oneself. In the quantum field between realities, the transformed crews of the Prometheus fleet continued their eternal watch. They had become something new, something necessary. They had proven that humanity's greatest strength was not its technology, not its adaptability, but its capacity to choose sacrifice over power, protection over dominance. The galaxy had changed forever, and in the patterns of light that danced across the quantum field, the face of Elena Rodriguez smiled, knowing that they had chosen right.